Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful scrunchie. So let's get started. This is the final result of the scrunchie in my hair. I mean, you can have it any way you'd like to put it. So if I wanted to just do my hair in a loose little bun, you can also do it like that. It just looks really nice and lacy and it goes with any outfit. I'm going to begin by inserting my wool into my hair tie. And to do that, I'm going to grab my yarn and have the tail end on this side. And I'm going to yarn over twice to insert it onto my hook, and I'm going to pull through to make a cross and then pull through again to create a slip knot. So now that I have my slip knot, I can now get my hair tie and insert it. So I'm going to pull this end here and put this on my hook, and then put my wool on my hook and pulling it tight with the tail, and then I'm going to grab my working yarn and just pinch the tail with the hair tie, and I'm going to chain one to secure, just like that. Now I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook through that hair tie, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 3. Sorry, I'll do that a bit slower. So yarn over, insert your hook, grab the wool from behind, pull it through, yarn over, there should be 3 loops on your hook before, yarn over and pull through 3. Oh, I didn't do that one right. Yarn over, insert my hook, yarn over again and pull through 3, and that is a half double crochet, and we're just going to do that all the way around. So I'll meet you back once I've done a few. So as you can kind of see, I'm now almost finished with my half double crochets, but I'm going to show you a easy way to change colors or to continue adding the same color of wool if you've got the same problem as me where you're running out of wool. Now, if you can see, we pinched our tail at the very start with our hair tie so we could weave it in. So we're gonna do pretty much the same thing. So we're just going to go in with a half double crochet, and instead of yarning over and finishing that off, I'm going to grab my same piece of wool, same color, but it's longer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how long the tail on here is and see how long of a tail I want. So about there is great. And now I'm going to pinch all 3 of these ends and continue to weave them in. And I'm trying to keep my tension quite tight so I'm not going too far and creating gaps. Now I'm going to just pull on the hair tie a little bit to create more space so that I can continue crocheting without there being any holes. You basically want to continue doing this until it is flat. You don't really want it to be rippled or anything, just flat, but it goes around. So I'm just stretching out my stitches a little bit. I'm going to add 2 more and then I'm going to fasten off. So again, just continue pinching that in your left hand. So I'm gonna add 1, 2. Oops. There you go. So if we kind of stretch that out, we can see that we have gone all the way around, and we've also weaved in our tail, which is great. So I can give that a stretch, and now I'm going to insert my hook. Hopefully the lighting is a bit better now for you. So as you can see, this right here is my first, sorry, just pull your yarn a bit. This here is my first half double crochet. This tiny bit here is the first chain, but this is my first half double crochet. So I'm going to insert my hook into there. Show that one more time, just a bit slower. Insert my hook into both loops, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again to create a slip stitch. Now I will chain 2. And I'm not going to worry about weaving in these ends anymore, they're fine. So I'm actually going to chain 2 more. 2 is for my double crochet, and 2 is for the 2 chains in between them. Now this next stitch here, I'm going to skip and go into the one after that. Basically we're going to increase because each chain counts as a stitch. So if I'm doing a double crochet, chaining 2 and skipping 1 stitch, I am adding a stitch for the next round. So now you're going to chain 2, yarn over, insert your hook not into the next one but the stitch after that. I'm going to yarn over and pull through both loops. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I'm going to chain 2, yarn over, skip 1, go into the next, and double crochet. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Chain 2, yarn over, insert my hook. Oh, if it wants to go in. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And I'll meet you at the end when we finished with this round. Now I'm almost at the end, and I actually have enough to continue going regularly, but I'm going to show you what to do if you need to decrease or increase. Now I actually recommend increasing instead of decreasing just to make it look a bit better. So if you look and you actually don't have 1 extra stitch that's not the slip stitch, so if we have a look, that's our double crochet, that's 1 chain, that's another, 3, 4. This here is our slip stitch. So now is my last stitch, skip 1, insert my hook, yarn over, chain 2. And now we're going to count. So we're going to count 1, 2. So the second one here, you want to go through, sorry, I'm going to try and show you. You want to go through both loops. So see that there's 2 top loops on that V. I just inserted my hook into that stitch and did a slip stitch. Now I'm going to chain 1. My camera really doesn't want to work with me today. So now we're going to go into that same stitch, the chain stitch, and we're going to do a single crochet. And this counts as our first stitch, not the chain 1. Now, a lot of people would probably decide to go into the chain spaces themselves, but I find that's too time consuming. So I'm just going to do 2 single crochets into each space instead of the actual chain stitches, and then I'm going to do 1 single crochet into each top of the double crochet. So we're just doing single crochets around, so the pattern is just 1, 2 single crochets into each double crochet space, and then 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets into each chain space, and then 1 single crochet into each double crochet space, stitch, sorry. So 1, 2. So if you don't know how to do a single crochet, it's just insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're just doing that all the way around. So I'll meet you at the end. And this is how it's looking so far. It's a tiny bit increased, but not much. I'm now down to my last couple of stitches, and I'm almost running out of wool. So again, I'm just doing 1 single crochet into each double crochet, and then 2 single crochets into the 2 chain spaces that we made before. So 1 into here, and I'm now going to get some more wool. So this is great if you want to change colors with your work, like if you wanted to make it multicolored. You just pinch this top part here and pull it through those 2 loops that you've just left from that single crochet, and then you can pull your tail just so you can weave it in. And I just like to pinch those 2 on my left hand, and I'm going to insert my hook back into here to do another single crochet. Sorry, I was actually wrong. I actually needed to do my single crochet into the top of my double crochet. Sorry guys, it's a bit hard to see. So I'm inserting it into there, going through. Now I'm going to do my last 2 single crochets. That should always be at the end. And now I'm going to slip stitch right into that first single crochet that we made, and just move your tail out of the way. You can also mark that with a stitch marker, but I've lost all of mine. And that is that round complete. So now moving on to the next round, we're going to chain 1 and into the same space that we just slip stitched into, I'm going to do my first single crochet. My tension wasn't really tight enough, so my first single crochet will go through here, and then I'm going to chain 2, and we're going to make this a bit more frilly, so we're going to increase. So I'm just going to, just like before, skip the next stitch and go into the one after that and do a single crochet. And then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to skip the next stitch, which is here, and go into the next one. And now you're just going to continue to do that all the way around until you get back to the start of this round. So as you can see, I'm almost finished with this round. That's what it should start to look like. And I added more wool, but I have an uneven number of stitches here. So I actually have too many. And we increased last time on this side here, so I'm going to do a decrease. Now to do a decrease, you want to insert your hook into the stitch that you would already go into, so skip one, go into the other, and you're going to yarn over and pull through. So you have 2 loops on your hook, just like a regular single crochet. Sorry, I went into the wrong stitch. So you're going to insert your hook into the next stitch. So skip this one, go into the next, yarn over, pull through. So you have 2 loops on your hook, Now I'm going to go into this next stitch here, the stitch right afterwards. I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to pull through again, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And that's actually, it's basically put 2 stitches into 1. So that was my final stitch. So now I'll chain 2 and insert my hook into the top of this stitch here. Gonna yarn over and then pull through. And it looks a bit weird at the moment because I've weaved in the ends as I went. So what we're going to do now, it's completely optional, you don't have to do this, but I enjoy this look at the end. So I am going to slip stitch into the next stitch to move my work across. Now I'm going to chain 2, yarn over, insert my hook, yarn over again, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to do that 3 more times. So we're going to do 3 double crochets into here. So yarn over, pull through, insert my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we now have 3 on here. And now into this next, and we're just working in the spaces, into this next space here, I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through that loop. And that is a slip stitch. I'm going to show you what they will actually look like because we're making a scalloped edge now. So now into the next chain space, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, okay, so now into each single crochet, which is here, this stitch at the top here, we're going to insert our hook and do a slip stitch. So we're going to yarn over, pull through, and pull through. And that's your slip stitch. And this is going to be a scalloped edge. So we're just going to work into these chain spaces. So this chain space here, we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to do this 5 times. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5. My wool got a bit stuck there. It's okay. So now into the single crochet space, we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, and then pull through to create a slip stitch. We're just going to continue to do that all the way around. So I'll show you one more time. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we're going to do 5 double crochets. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to insert our hook into the single crochet and complete a slip stitch, and we're just going to do that all the way around. Now I just want to mention that I did use a smaller crochet hook for these last few scallops. I went down from a 4mm to using a 3mm hook. And that's solely just for the reason that, and that's just because I was scared I was going to run out of wool, but also just for aesthetic purposes. But if you want this to increase more and look more flowy, then you can definitely just continue with the same hook. It's just up to personal preference. So I'm now on the last couple of stitches, so I'm going to show you how to complete this. Now we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that chain 2 space, and it looks a bit different because I did weave in my ends as I went. And we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Then we're going to do that 4 more times to create 5 double crochets. So yarn over, insert my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's third, number 4, and number 5. Now, as we can see, this is our chain 2. So this here, I'm going to do a slip stitch into this sort of first bit here. It's a bit hard to see. Just doing it into that last double crochet space. So insert your hook. As you can see, it's actually through, and do a slip stitch. Now we're going to yarn over and into this section here, because remember when we started and we did 3 double crochets, we're going to finish that scallop off by doing 2 more double crochets into that same space. So 1, 2, and then I'm going to look at the top here, so 1, 2, 3, and put it into the top of that first double crochet stitch that you did. And that is your work complete. Now we just have to weave in the ends. So I'm going to chain 2 to fasten off. You can just chain 1 if you want, but I just prefer it that way. And cut your work if you've got more wool than me. And then I'll show you how we're just going to weave in our ends quickly. Now, you can use a tapestry hook to weave in your ends. However, you can also use your crochet hook. So I'll show you both methods so that you're just familiar with it. Now, first of all, the first thing you want to do is choose which side is your favorite. So what side looks better to you? It's not necessarily a good side and a bad side, it's just up to personal preference. Now, I actually think I prefer this side, and it doesn't matter about this stitch here because I can just pull this a bit tighter and it will fix itself. So that's fine. So I like this side more. So now I'll go to where I just fastened off, and I have my wool on this side, and this like using a crochet hook is just a bit more time consuming, but that's fine. So look at the top of your stitches and see how there's a V. Just make that focus. See how you have V's all the way around. You want to go into the back stitch. So the first, like the last stitch you just did, back stitch, and just grab your wool with your hook and pull it through. And then you're just going to continue to do that all the way around. So I'll show you again. Insert your hook, grab your wool with your hook, and just pull it through. So that's how you do it with a crochet hook. Now I'll show you how to do it with a tapestry needle. With the tapestry needle method, I am going to cut my wool because I do not need that long of a tail. Just gonna cut, it doesn't really matter, you can do a really short tail if you'd like, but I just like to make sure that I've weaved in all my ends. So we'll now grab that and grab our tapestry needle and just do a knot with it. It doesn't need to be. Also, a handy tip is pull your yarn so it's fully weaved in, so it's not too tight, and then kind of remember where that was and then pull it way tighter. And then I just cut a little bit below where I just marked with my hand, and then I pull it through, and that's perfect. That is an invisible ends weaving in complete. So now I'm just going to do that with these other ends I need to weave in, and I'll see you back in a minute. Okay, so this is the finished scrunchie. This is what it should look like, and it's very nice and lacy. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I'm hoping to make some more tutorials soon.